Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a game from the Australian State Shield in 2019, and I'm pretty excited about it because it's a meta I'm not particularly familiar with, so I'm really excited to see how that breaks down, how they play, how they might differ from the American style of play that I think a lot of our viewers might be more used to. This came from a donation, which I'm very thankful for, and it's kind of allowing me to keep doing this on such a regular basis. I'm hoping to keep putting these out day after day after day, and so I really am appreciative. And if you want to donate, the details are below in the description. Beyond that, if you don't want to do that, liking, subscribing makes a huge difference as well as subscribing to our Instagram, where you can see pictures of my cat Miko, which is really the best part, I think, of any of this, as well as updates anytime a new video comes out. Thanks again, everybody, for the support, and let's get into it. So as I said, today we'll be taking a look at a state shield match. This is a Australian competition where they create all-star teams from each state of the country, or at least I think of most of the states of the country, and they play a tournament against each other. This is a game between Victoria and New South Wales. I believe these two teams were the finalists. Yes, this is the grand final, so yes, these teams were the finalists. And really, this is my first time looking at the Australian meta in quite a while. I think the last game I watched was probably the 2018 Quaffle final, which would have been in December-ish of 2018. So a little ways back. At that point, they were still very much a drive-heavy country when it comes to strategy. Both teams at that point were implementing the zone that we saw Team Australia running against Team USA, which I think I might break down at some point as we go along this journey, back at both World Cups 2018, 2016. So we'll see if that's still the way the Australians are playing or if things have changed. Let's take a look. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be referring to, I think, any of these players by name, but I was listening to the announcers a little bit beforehand, and even they were having a little bit of trouble because the state divides, I assume, kind of the way we have region divides in America. So I'll just kind of be referring to players more generally. So we'll see how it brings up. Bit of a scrum. I think New South Wales could have probably just played for possession there. Let's see. I think right here, keeper just needs to, he's tangled, but with no pressure, beaters around him. Just an unnecessary turnover for sure. Okay, let's see what offensive possessions look like. So, appears there's still some kind of zone, right? Because this pass across the top was not met by any resistance here. All right, so defenses seem at least similar to what we were seeing in the past. We'll see if it's the same the other way. Fast break opportunity. Weird fast break opportunity here, right? It looks like he's driving. He has passing options. I don't like that this player wasn't able to get in front of him. He should have been an easy outlet on the wing there, basically where her positioning is. By being behind, he's basically taking himself out of the play. And they've actually have two players behind him. And then I think he was expecting his beater to clear here maybe. And said his beater never threw. It's fast break the other way. So I'd just say sloppy coordination there from the New South Wales side to lead to that goal. That fast break has to have a pass in it. What I always tell my kids, we're going to get a replay of it. Yeah, just never threw the New South Wales beater. That's another fast break going that way. And that time a good shot. Not the highest percentage shot, but I'll take it. It's not the worst look. What I like to tell my players when they're running a fast break is that you should never assume, if there's a single beater back in the zone, you should never assume that your plan for scoring is going to be to drive all the way to the hoops and dunk it through. Because the odds of that happening between the tacklers and the bludger that are there are very low. If there's no bludger and you think you have a size advantage, maybe you power through, whatever. So you need to be looking at one of three situations. Am I taking a mid-range shot, which we just saw in that last play? Am I passing to somebody when the contact comes, which we should have seen in that first play and didn't? Or am I just pulling out and ending the fast break, which is still an option on every fast break that not enough people use. 10-10 here. You get the second half court possession here from Victoria. Pretty typical zone. So we were talking a little bit right on a video the other day about how Americans are moving towards tacking this kind of 2-2 look from the wing here because it creates more of a divide. Victoria has played narrow the entire time they've been against the zone. I don't think they've gotten out to a wing at any point. So let's see if that changes. Nope, he narrows himself again. Narrows himself to a teammate. So now he's eliminating a passing option as well. And he's going to try to drive through 2 here. Is that the plan, I guess? Yeah, this zone is built to stop everything that New South Wales did on that possession. It's going to be a easy enough turnover. Eventually, it should be a turnover. Oh, wow. Good effort by the Victoria player. That keeper on Victoria seems to be the best player in this game so far. Again, I don't know much about names or anything. It's probably Callum Mailing, and I can't even tell. It's not. I see a different name on the back. All right, move it down here. This is the wing. This is where I want it. Get it down to the wing. Or bring it there yourself. This is fine. Look how much more dangerous this looks already. She's open here for a pass. Just by getting it here, this defense didn't make any particularly good transitions. She got behind the play. He's going to have to step out. There's multiple passing options here. Let's see if they can capitalize. Missed beat. He's just going to drive all the way. So, you know, the kind of straightforward approach, as it were, but still, much better look. Good physicality from Victoria there, just to make sure there's no chance of fast break. I'm always okay with that tackle, just to make sure. Is it going to create a turnover? No. Is it going to make sure the other team's not fast breaking because they're going to have to break up that? Yes. I'm sure it's a little wasted energy, but I assume on an all-star team, there's no lack of depth to replace that. So something that's come up, I think, a couple times in our videos is beaters throwing off the back foot and how much less effective they watch. So watch this exchange right here. And I'm sorry I can't slow down. This is... Maybe I can? Let's find out. No, I can't. I'm sorry I can't slow down. This is a Facebook video as opposed to YouTube, so I'm a little more limited. But watch. This beater's going to pump fake. And this beater's response is going to be throwing off their back foot, which makes for a very weak beat that's easily dodged, and then I assume a press is coming after it. If you want to throw, you need to throw off your front foot. You need to put power behind it, especially if you're throwing from distance. See that back step as they were throwing? That created the problem. And good ball movement from New South Wales to not give up to that press. But eventually it's a turnover. It's going to be, I assume, a goal the other way. Oh, good tackle. I'm glad the Aussie game is still extremely full of all the physicality we're used to seeing from those Australian national teams. The way the blue team moved the ball in that fast break almost had a bit of a rugby feel to it, which I think we're going to see here. That kind of next option up, just pass it off to them. Very scrummy. Great pass. This isn't your computer glitching. This is the replay slow motion from the actual feed of the original game. So Victoria just looks more physical in a way that I don't know how New South Wales is going to neutralize, especially if they can't get bludger control. So let's see if they get a better attempt at getting bludger control this time. Ooh, good play. Way to isolate the beater and then take it right off of them. But sloppy from New South Wales on the pass again. Because I think there was a no bludger situation there for a second. I think we're going to get a penalty when all is said and done. So a couple things here. First of all, I don't like the drive itself. Because I think you have the entire defense right here to gang tackle. And it works out because they pick up an illegal tackle, but he does get taken down without scoring a goal. You got to look to pass. You got options here. Second thing is this is a pretty weak tackle attempt, especially when you have help everywhere. You just need to commit to a side. Instead, he kind of arm tackles. And I think they eventually get him for, probably neck contact there. Second thing I don't like is that the refs should stop play here. I don't think this is an advantage anymore. And let's say Victoria beater runs all the way over here before play stops. Now you're actually penalizing New South Wales for how long you sat on this whistle when there's not really an advantage to be had anymore. This is clearly not an advantage state anymore. All right. We get the restart. Should be a pretty straightforward goal. I don't know. So I assume the ball carrier is right here. I think that's the quaffle. You can put your arm anywhere you want on a restart. His arm should be right up here so he can just flip it through. I don't think it matters. The beater looks like they're off screen, but still. Unless he maybe has a really clear route to just run to the... Oh, that looks like they're setting up a block for that. That makes sense too. Yeah, easy enough. Good play for bludger control by New South Wales. I think this is no bludger. Victoria should be looking to run. Maybe they are. I don't know where the quaffle is. Oh, it got reset all the way back. Okay. I think that was a good goal, right? It should be 30-20. I guess that'll get changed. Oof. Oh, it's a really easy goal. What happened in the bludger game here? Did the bludgers just never get reset in this play? Where are the beaters? The world may never know where the beaters were on this play. But let's see what the action is. I think it's a pick and roll. Oh, beautiful. These are kind of... I would have liked to see him actually connect on the pick part of this pick and roll, but hey, at least he got his teammate enough room and rolled the right way. Nice play. For an all-star team to be running those little pick and roll ideas, like those are basic offensive strategies that you should be able to work in with any teammates without much practice. It's just a two-person interaction that creates some space, creates some offensive push. Another high press from Victoria. They are dominating on these beats. So let's go back to that exchange because it made the difference. What I don't like about what New South Wales is doing here is Victoria is aggressively throwing on every possession, and New South Wales is basically posturing to do the same. So by getting into this throwing stance right here, this isn't a blocking stance, right? Your ball's behind you. You're a huge target right here. If you know you're not going to be the thrower and they're throwing every time, start looking to catch, start looking to block. Don't kind of keep getting caught in this middle ground. Play gets blown up. This is a nice defensive play here, nice strip. Fine with at least one player, maybe not too many players, but one player just slowing that down in case the fast break was going to exist. Make sure your beaters get in position. Nice pass in transition. Did they not have a bludger again? I'm very confused by this beating game because it's all happening off screen. I guess this beater probably went in and blew up the play before the quaffle even got there. I feel like New South Wales hasn't had a defensive bludger for like 3 possessions. I wish we could see why. I assume it's just the dominant play from the Victoria beaters that we've been seeing on the defensive end. So let's see if the New South Wales beaters try something different this time. Because we know it's going to happen, right? This Victoria beater is going to throw this as soon as they're in range. It's happened every possession. Oh, they played more conservatively there. I jinxed it. I think it might have been a beater sub. I think that might be the difference in tendencies. Yeah, definitely a beater sub. So this is a play I don't see enough that I really like when a ball kind of starts moving towards a wing, right? So this all moved towards the wing. So this beater said, hey, I have all of this space to operate in, right? I can start deleting backwards moving options. Because usually, let's say this is all centered, right? And he's trying to come up this high, he might get attacked for being out of position. But when the beaters are that far away, he can take this space, knowing he could always reset with a pass all the way back behind his hoops if he really had to, but in the meantime, cutting off space for the offense. And once he takes away this passing option and can press, he kind of forces the offense to move forward. And another blow up of the play in transition from the Victoria beater. I think a little forced from the Victoria offensive players, though. It's going to end up being a turnover when all is said and done. So let's see if anything could have been changed on that fast break. I think right here, there's no way she's driving through 4 people and scoring, right? So I think one step back, review your options, pull it all the way out if nothing comes, and then if someone cuts down this lane right here, you hit them with a pass. Instead, she kind of ran in towards the keeper and kind of reduced her passing options. We'll skip forward. So still Victoria bludger control. So Victoria is not pressing this high at all right now. I would like to see ball carrier taking this space or passing it. You have to make the beaters do something here. You can't stand back here while the beaters are under their hoops because your beater can't get bludger control from them. Okay, this is more like it. Now keep walking in the space. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Make someone react to you. What I don't like, though, is that there's no options here. So even though she's getting in this dangerous space, all of her options are back here. So she can't go back here. Oh, there. So there was a passing option. Hit this right here. Into this space. Make him move. The beater won't get to it in time. That's the play. It got stepped out on because they waited too long. They do eventually get to that person behind the hoop, so I'll give them credit for that, but I didn't love the pass they did it with. Going over the hoops is always harder than going to the wing and then behind the hoops. Victoria's smart to pull it back there. They saw a bludger. They didn't like their options. I think this might be the first half court we've seen them run like 5 possessions. To the wing, much better. To the back, fine with that too. I don't love the shot there. Make one more pass, right? Let's see where things ended up. Brings it around the back. I think there's a pass right out here on the wing. Yeah. Hit this. Hit this pass. She's going to come in here. They're going to have to step. And then you've got her, or I think there's another player on the wing. This is a low percentage shot. Especially against, 4 people on the hoops? Much better. Nice seeing some zip on that pass. I don't like making this contact and letting yourself come out of the play because that's what all this starts off of. Right now, he's going to drive. Someone's going to have to step you down to 2 defenders with 3 total off-ball players, plus someone's supposed to be on the hoops. And that leads to someone being open behind. And really clean to score there. So these bludgers are really turtled. So a couple ways to attack turtle bludgers. One is to go onto the wing and then attack inward, because at some point that bludger beater has to step out so your beater can attack them. Second way, you just walk into this zone with your beaters beating their defenders and you just start taking shots, because they're short range shots. Unless they're playing hoop zone, they can't really cover all the hoops. Let's see if we see either of those things here from New South Wales. Okay, go into the wing. I like that. Okay, this is good. I think they're forcing... Yeah, they even got bludger control out of this. And a goal. Much better. That's a lot more like what we saw in our video attacking 2-2 zones. Get it to the wing, and then find that cutting person behind the hoops. Somehow Victoria, though, blew up all the bludgers again before the offense even got there. And they scored a no bludger fast break goal. It's really been those fast break goals have really been the story of this game for Victoria. 70-30. That's a shot. Just take your reset? I guess he saw that the whole team had come out for the press, so he figured why not go for it, but this is probably 15 yards to the hoops. I'm not even sure Jake Archibald takes that shot if it's offered to him. It's a ballsy one. All right, bludger control, New South Wales on defense. I think this is the first time Victoria's really gone up against this. Good repelling on the wings there. Looks like they're kind of turtling their bludgers as well. Get it deeper in the wing, deeper in the wing. Exchange of beats there. I thought he got him, but I guess he didn't. Good D. Good defensive possession there from New South Wales. And they kept bludger control. I think there was a goal scored there. Let's see how this play broke down exactly. So nobody's stepping the ball here, which was okay when they turtled 2 bludgers and a little iffy when they turtled 1. This keeper's too deep. I know this is the way the Australians like to play this defense, but at least get to the edge of the keeper zone. This is very deep. I guess he's scared of that pass, but he's got players directing it. This should be a goal just because the keeper let him in that deep, and obviously he doesn't score, but eventually they're going to score off of it. So 70-40, New South Wales back in the game. Look at this Andrew Hull, the old UK keeper. High press. I guess they want an exchange. Oh, so I guess this is the way the rule is called in... So I think in the US this would be called one consistent motion reset, a single reset, which is never a rule I've agreed upon. I think if you kind of do that first reset, then some play happens and then you reset over the back line instead of one direct run. That should be considered 2 resets. Clearly it gets called here, so good turnover forced. I guess they're showing it to us. And I guess this is the possession after. Things are getting a little crazy right now. Good effort to score that. Almost took a little too long. That bludger almost got in there. So Hull steps just over to have to collect and he gets beat. It's a really aggressive beat, a really bold beat that I guess worked out and got them a goal. Someone has to put a body on this person at some point in this drive, right? Here, that should be a body by one of these 2 defenders. This should definitely be a body when he's on. This should be contact right in through the chest here. Yeah. Iffy defense from a Victoria team that was playing really, really physical defense earlier in this game. I think kind of 2 straight possessions now where I haven't been particularly impressed by their defense. Just hasn't seemed as coordinated. I do want to say the production value of this stream is awesome, by the way. Props to everyone involved. Just take the reset. Ah. These teams never want to take the reset except the one time they accidentally double reset. You don't have to force. Speaking of forcing. So this is no bludger. And you have a bludger. this beater needs to affect this point defense. I see the pass there, and I think if he's unwrapped, this is an easy pass, and I think it just gets harder because he's wrapped. Can't tell if that shot was made or not. I guess we'll find out when the scoreboard adjusts. So why was there only one defender up for that shot is the question. So beater gets beat, that's fine. They got bludger control. So they're playing kind of a hard man over here, so that's why. But I think he kind of tries to jump out of the way of this tap beat. I think you just have to take that tap beat because it's the only bludger they have, and your beater needs to recognize that and just step a little bit higher. They're so tucked into the hoop here, which I don't think you can be with only one bludger. Yeah, I think that was a good goal. So still 30-point lead. I don't know if this clock is right anymore because it was stuck at 11 for a while. So I guess we'll find out when we get closer to 18. Good bludger control play there from New South Wales. They only got one beater back, but I'm fine resetting it, letting it play. I like the pick action. Hey, swing over to that. There's just not enough ball movement. These ball carriers like to hold the ball too long. He could have gone over here, could have swung to the wing and then to the back. He's going to throw it across. Yeah. That's the hardest pass. You've got your... When you think of it as a diamond, you want to go to either of your two diagonals. When you think of it as a box, you want to go horizontal or vertical. You don't want to go diagonal. That was the diagonal pass. Long beat. That should not have gotten bludger control. Good enough, D. But see where this beat came from? This beat is being thrown from about 10 yards away from this back beater, who I assume is at the hoops, because this guy's about 10 yards from the hoops, I think, right now. That should give you plenty of time, unless you're being wrapped, which is possible. Again, it's happening off screen. I can't tell. To just kind of throw it back to your hoops. Your ball should not have gotten to a place where nobody can get it. Like the fast break, though, recognizing there's no bludger back. Huge hit. God, the Australian game is so physical. I think we may have an injury here. I'll skip through this. Maybe we'll get to see the hit. Here it is. Nah, we're not going to get to see it. All right, we're going to have a stoppage for a while. Skip through that. So I guess that shot was missed, so it's New South Wales ball again, 80-50. I'm fine with that. Let's try from a different angle. Drive and dish. Yeah. I think the shot went through. Sure. No, now they're calling it live still. I was just going by the referee signals. I don't know what to tell you. This is messy as all heck. I like the offense possession. I see that it didn't work out, but attacking from a new angle, you have to force the zone into more different angles than these teams have been most of this game. So Victoria's really got to start thinking, because I assume it's getting close to 18. Like I said, I'm not sure this clock is exactly correct. Get a goal, and then how can you kind of delay the number of possessions? Because you can't lose right now, right? You're up 30. You want bludger control, ideally. It's a good exchange. I think it's going to get them bludger control, yeah. So what I don't like about this play defensively is that this exchange happens. Because this zone is meant to be a pretty deep-sitting zone, right? Like, look where your defenders are. This beater shouldn't be this high up taking this exchange. There's no reason to give up budget control before the plays even started like this. Kind of on his terms, right? Because he throws first. Yeah. And then offensively, I think this needs more movement. There's a cut here. Someone needs to cut to this space. Here or here. Someone needs to cut. These people aren't open where they're standing. People need to move off ball. So when the pass goes flat there, she's not in a dangerous position at all. Yeah. Someone needed to make a cut. 3 people were standing when the ball carrier was cutting. I didn't like that fast break into, I assume, budget control, where their team had to try to make a play for budget control in the process. So what's your best situation there? I guess there's like maybe a 5% chance that play resulted in a goal in budget control. There's very little chance you're getting budget control, and there's very little chance you're getting a goal. Maybe you get a goal, but then we're coming towards snitch on pitch. You're still down 20, and the other team still has budget control. You can't go down 40 here. That possession was really important. I do not like the way it was wasted. Short shift from the Victoria keeper, who I thought was playing very well in his first shift. Maybe a little iffier in that shift, but still, he only played for a minute or two. Well, this seems like a defensive lapse. I don't know how this is behind all of this. It didn't work out for him, but did everybody just lose attention here? So let's see. She's the top defender on this side. That's fine. I guess this is a man scheme here. Maybe I don't understand this defense. I don't think anybody's, unless they switch to full man, which they didn't because he's guarding space, this person should not be following this chaser that far out of the zone. Weird play. I like the idea. I think you zip it to her a little bit earlier while she's still on the wing instead of trying to get it over the keeper. Oh, man. So I used to have a saying, the worst play in Quidditch is to throw a ball right to a keeper so they can fast break the other way. Right here, look at how this ball could have been released here into this space, and she probably scores. If you're going to try to get over the keeper, I would get aerial yourself so that your angle of release is higher, or you need to sky it. He tries to put too much touch on this, and then it just goes right the other way. And great recognition by this beater, too, to blow up the play. That's how you want a fast break. Really nicely done. So it looks like the Victoria beaters were forced back. I'm not sure why New South Wales isn't pressing. Now they do. It's fine. I would have liked to see Victoria making more of a play for bludger control there. Once they lost their bludgers, I don't think you drive again until your beaters get back in the play. Because now New South Wales has everything going for them, right? They're down 20, so they can give up a goal and they still don't go out of range. They have bludger control. They're well prepared for what the snitch on pitch is about to be. I'd play a really long possession here. So what benefit is New South Wales garnering from playing Quidditch on this possession, right? They have bludger control. If the goal is there, I mean, take it. Being down 10 is obviously a lot better than being down 20, but you don't want to force yourself into a situation where you turn the ball over without scoring. They go up 30, or they have the ball right as all the beaters have to go to the snitch, so you go down 30 from that. I'm looking for a really nice opportunity here, and I'm fine if this possession takes a very long time. 1.5, first time we've seen 1.5 this game. Didn't really work. So let's see. I like the point defender and then going for it. He just needs to hit here, right? He did everything right, and then he just never hit. So this player was able to step out enough to do that. And hard to tell from here if that goal is going to be good or not. Guess we'll have to wait for the scoreboard. Looks like they didn't flip it. So yeah, that 1.5, he makes that hit there, that's a goal 100% of the time. Oof, we are really zoomed out now. If you have a snitch cam, why is this zoomed out? I guess because the cam that was being used for following the action. Ball thrown away. I don't know why New South Wales is running this much for it. They do not need to get the ball back into play. They're down 20. It's where they want to be. Finally, someone looked to run a fast break and then pulled it out. This is fine. You got 20 seconds until Snitch on pitch. Just hold the ball. Use a reset if you have to. Swing it to this wing here. Wing right here. Perfect. Walk it out here. Look at all this space. Walk it out here. This is getting a little stally now. Maybe back to the wing? Oh, I think we have a stoppage. No, we don't? What happened on that play? Why did it look like everyone stopped moving? Oh, that was the Seekers getting released. So I don't like anything about what Victoria is doing here, right? They've got one bludger. The Snitch is about to be released. It's a Snitch range game. Why is this beater not preparing in some way for the Snitch on pitch? Instead, he's going to make a beat here on the quaffle, which is going to create no bludgers for Victoria. They give up the goal, so now it's 10-point game. It's literally just coming to who catches, and New South Wales is getting the whole first opportunity on the Snitch. I'm just going to be watching the way the beaters interact around the Snitch as much as I can, and if anything changes in the quaffle game, we can find out later. New South Wales keeping control. I don't like the way that this beater is this far away from the quaffle play, but I guess he might be trailing the Seeker. It's hard for me. It looks like the Seeker is subbing. This angle is really far away, so I'm doing my best. This is good. So what Max always tells me to do, what Max Havlin always tells me to do is, if this is the Seeker, and I think it is, one of these two people has to be the Seeker, right? That person should shoot so that one of the beaters has to do something about that, and that's when you attack. I don't like this attack from about 5 yards away against two beaters well positioned. Yeah, it just ends up in a... Even with the beat, they still lose bludger control and never get a shot at the Snitch. So yeah, you need your Seeker to shoot first to draw the beater's attention so that you can then attack. New South Wales is not getting close to the Snitch right now. That's the only saving grace Victoria has at the moment, because their beaters are getting picked apart. I like this pile up. If I'm New South Wales, I want to be in this pile up for the rest of the game if I can be. I'm in no rush. I guess they broke it. It's fine. Quaffle game must be sloppy because I haven't seen a goal since Snitch on pitch started with no bludgers anywhere. Victoria finally gets some bludger control. Oh, God. How did that happen? How does New South Wales Seeker even get a shot here? Looks like he's following him, and then he loses track of him? I don't know if he gets called off or what, but that was almost really dangerous. I guess he was trying to get grasp of where the other bludger was, but that's got to be communicated between him and his teammate. And that's the catch. So Victoria, their Seeker just seemed to be a little better matchup for that Snitch. Ooh, are we going to get a replay of this? That's exciting. Missed beat there. Let's see if we can see it one more time. So no bludger control for New South Wales here. I'm fine with this. You have to try to take the beat. You can't let that go forever, and you're about to hit for confrontation if you don't. It's a tough beat to make. She misses it. It happens. There's really just a difference of Victoria making the more out of their time with the snitch than New South Wales was able. So that'll do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed something a little bit different, something from another country, something I'm a little less familiar with. I was unsurprisingly really impressed by a lot of the physicality I was seeing, especially from the top lines in this game. I'm surprised they're still playing the same zones and that they haven't come up with better solutions for their zones, because I think those solutions kind of are out there and they should be trying them more than anything because they're the ones playing those zones. Also, I think fast breaks were a little unhinged at times. I think they could have controlled it a little bit better. I thought Victoria looked like the better team. I thought they kind of threw away a lead to some degree because I think they were in control for large swaths of that game, but they, in the half court offensively, just had some weird looks. They weren't moving the way I would like to see them. New South Wales, the beaters they brought in about halfway through the game, I was really impressed with. I thought they played really dominant Quidditch, and they're probably somebody I know, but like I said, it's hard to see in this video. But again, I think it was a game of Victoria early on really capitalizing on all of those no budget situations and scoring a lot of goals, and then those kind of drying up, and from there them struggling to convert in half-court sets. That allowed New South Wales back in the game, but it just seemed like Victoria had the slightly better seeker, and that ended up making the difference in the end. So again, thanks for watching. I hope you like and subscribe. Expect more content tomorrow, and we'll see you soon.